So hello and welcome to episode 40 of our Aston Martin Safe. 40th episode this is, 10 more till 50, quick maths there. And this week we are starting with the upgrades that's just come on. We've had a suspension upgrade and we've had a rear wing upgrade, both of which has helped us achieve, if we have a look at the car analysis on the right hand side, we're now the 5th fastest car in terms of top speed, 11th fastest car in terms of acceleration. Low speed cornering we're pretty good at as well. There's still a lot more work to be done on the medium and high speed, and definitely in the cooling department. We'll be focusing on that mainly for next season's car, but hopefully that should help us for the next Grand Prix. Now, if you didn't watch the last episode, then spoiler coming right up, at the Italian Grand Prix wasn't our best result by far. Pierre Gasly finishing P9. Strategy-wise, yes, we may have got it wrong. We didn't bring him in under VSC. We felt that the soft compound might help us towards the end and it might come back to us. It really didn't. And then, just to compound the misery in Italy, Fernando Alonso didn't finish. We retired the car after Lando Norris decided, instead of using his brakes, he was going to use Fernando Alonso's rear wing to do that instead. But this weekend we head to Singapore, and if there was a street circuit, I'd either go to Baku, Monaco, Singapore. They're all great circuits. I do like this one though. The weather, obviously, the humidity that you get there, but it's just a cracking looking circuit. High chance of safety cars. Bear that in mind. That's very important for this weekend. First Grand Prix in 2008, 61 laps around here. Kevin Magnussen holds the lap record from 2018 over 1:41.9. Car attributes, low speed cornering, which we're not bad at. Top speed acceleration doesn't really come into it as much, but hopefully we'll be okay. Time considerations, average pit lane time is 29 seconds under green flag running. There is a high chance of a safety car, 100% over the last 4 seasons. Expected strategy is a one stop from softs onto mediums. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to get all the practice done now, and we'll see you in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix.
We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit and the Singapore Grand Prix is just about to start. The name Singapore means City of Lions, and this weekend Formula One will be roaring into action. The bumpy street surfaces here make this a challenging circuit for the drivers, and the humidity causes them to lose as much as 3 kilos over the course of a race. But it's also tough on the cars, with 23 corners to tackle each and every lap. Good low-speed downforce will make all the difference here. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Let's get this underway. Closer look.
And just before we get to qualifying, just to show you how treacherous it is around this circuit, and one mistake can cost you big time. Sebastian Vettel in the Alpine. Boom. Straight into the wall. That's going to cost him a few quid. Unfortunately, that might be another little bonus for us here, because now we are very much battling Alpine for that 4th spot. But yeah, just a little quick one to show you how treacherous and dangerous this circuit can be.
Was the Aston Martin.
And then in the same practice session, just to show you once again how bad it can be, this is Fernando Alonso.
Thank goodness,
smashing it straight into the wall as well. The car has been retired in practice 1. That may mean that we have to take some grid penalties as well on Fernando's side of the garage. Head of Aero, very disappointed on the left there. Not as disappointed as the man sat here on the pit wall, I can assure you. So practice 1, we have got a retirement. Right, the final corners in Q2. We've had some pace all weekend. Fernando Alonso crosses the line. He's only good enough for 10th fastest. That is really put him at risk. It's all on whether Guan Yu Zhou can improve enough to get him through Pierre Gasly down in P9. He's now rounding the final corner. Is he going to improve? Pierre Gasly, not huge left, just by a bit, but not tons. It's all on Guan Yu Zhou. Where is Guan Yu Zhou? He's now rounding the last corner. Can Guan Yu Zhou knock one of the Aston Martins out of qualifying? He can't. So both our guys are through to Q3. Pivotally, in Q1 we only used 1 set of tyres. So we've got 2 fresh sets for this final Q3. I'll just show you. We've got 2 fresh sets for this final Q3, or we just use 1, which we will. We'll save a fresh set of soft compound tyres for the race. Let's see how we got on in this one. And this is it then, final couple of corners in Q3, and both guys not improving. Pretty disappointing final laps. Fernando Alonso does just slightly improve, I think, but Pierre Gasly crosses the line, P8. So Lando Norris splits the two Mercedes, and barring George Russell doing anything magic, it is Lewis Hamilton who will be on pole for the Singapore Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc P2, Russell P3, and Max Verstappen will be P4, but pole position for Lewis Hamilton. Lando Norris has got a grid penalty, so our two guys are going to be starting together. Let's have a look at the strategies then and see what we can do with those. I think this could be a pretty decent Grand Prix. Double points is definitely on for us here. So nothing too untoward. We're going to go with a soft compound tyre, use those fresh tyres up. We might be able to extend that a little bit over a couple of the other cars around us, is the thinking. We know that probably there is going to be a safety car at some point during this race, and I would like the option to go to the medium or hard. I don't want to be getting a safety car around here if we started on mediums and then having to switch onto another slower compounded tyre. So that's the thinking behind it. We might get to switch onto some more softs later on in the Grand Prix, dependent. There's no rain. Both guys 8th and 9th, but let's see what we can do. I'm hopeful of a very good performance here from both our guys. Fernando's hopefully had his spin. Let's get to 5 red lights. Here we go.
We're just moments away from the Singapore Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go!
Lewis Hamilton leads us away here at the Marina Bay circuit, and straight away we're going to be looking at Pierre Gasly on the inside of Valtteri Bottas. Again, that flying fin putting that Alfa Romeo well up there in comparison to his teammate Alexander Albon. But straight away, Pierre Gasly going for a move, can't quite get it done. Fernando staying to the outside line. There's no team orders from our guys here. Get on with it and see what you can do. The Aston Martin, we are not going to get past that Red Bull of Sergio Perez. It must be said. So straight away, we're going to switch it straight back to neutral for both our guys. I don't see any reason to be using any tyres, added battery, anything up early doors. We may as well just stick with it for this first couple of laps and we'll go from there. So it is as follows. Lewis Hamilton is in P1. He's got 92% soft compound tyres. Leclerc, then Verstappen, Russell, Sainz, Bottas, Perez, Gasly, Alonso. Crucially, Esteban Ocon is in 10th and Sebastian Vettel down in P12. So remember, these are the guys we're fighting. Sebastian Vettel on the alternative strategy, starting on the mediums. Big grid penalties for Lando Norris. He's at the back of the grid, probably following that shunt in the last episode. So lap 1, Lewis Hamilton still leads us away here in Singapore.
Here's the replay.
Lap 8, and Pierre Gasly finally gets past Valtteri Bottas. He's been all over the back of him for the last few laps. Basically what's happened so far, the story of the race so far, it's been Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc battling it out at the front. We'll just cut to those guys now. It's a two-way fight. Obviously Merck have brought some upgrades, or maybe this circuit just really suits them. But Lewis Hamilton is having a cracking night so far in Singapore, and you can't deny him of it at this moment. Charles Leclerc in P2, Russell and Verstappen are going at it for P3 and 4th, followed closely by Sainz. Perez was behind Bottas for a prolonged period of time. Couldn't quite keep up with the guys in front. Managed to get past Bottas, and then Bottas has been stuck with our two guys. Pierre Gasly just overtaken, but we have got fresher tyres now. Valtteri Bottas now in P8. Fernando Alonso in P9, looking rather tasty as well. Danny Ricciardo's now up to P10, overtaking Esteban Ocon. Mostly, big point is, look at the tyres on the left-hand side. We're going to get another couple of laps more than these guys. So towards the ends, our mediums are going to be better. That is the plan, at least. It'll be interesting to see when Bottas and Perez come in. We'll probably leave it a couple of laps more, then go for the jugular and try and get the overcut on them. But lap 9, Lewis Hamilton is your leader, and both Aston Martins safely in the points. Lap 15, and some of the soft runners are in. Max Verstappen's in for the hard compounded tyre. Danny Ricciardo, I'm guessing he's going to be going for the hards as well. He is, as is Guan Yu Zhou. He's also coming onto the hards. At the moment, Gasly is now in front of this little trio. Fernando Alonso holding on to the back of him. What we're going to do is, we're going to pit Pierre Gasly first. I'm guessing Bottas is going to pit in the next couple of laps. Once Bottas pits, we'll try and get Fernando up to the back of Pierre Gasly. Pull Pierre in. That gives Fernando a little bit of DRS as well for his last lap. That makes sense to us, and they're about the same on tyres, so I reckon we can probably stretch to about, what, lap 20? When are we coming in? What's that saying? Around lap 17, 18. So I reckon 18 and 19 is when we're going to be in. So a couple of laps to go, but still looking pretty good. And neither of the front two have pit as of yet. Right then, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Fernando Alonso, and this is it. This is the push lap. Pierre Gasly is pitting this lap. Pierre Gasly coming in for mediums. He's going to be coming in. Fernando will then come in on the next lap, so we'll come back when the pit stops are happening. Right, Pierre Gasly is in for his pit stop. Let's see where he rejoins onto the medium compounded tyre. We have stretched it a little bit, but that does mean we're going to get an extra couple of laps out of these mediums towards the end. Fernando Alonso is on an absolute push lap now, on his in lap to see where he comes out. Right, where is Valtteri Bottas? Valtteri Bottas is coming around the final corner. Pierre Gasly is out in front of Valtteri Bottas, as was beautiful work from Pierre Gasly. He can go all back to balance now, and that should see that through. Right, Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, take it easy.
Let's see. Fast forward around. Where is Fernando Alonso? He's coming around the circuit now. Eyes are on where Valtteri Bottas is. And Fernando Alonso will be coming in next lap. Next lap. Lap 21. Fernando is in for his medium compound pit stop. Let's have a look now. Good stop would be necessary. A good stop is necessary. 2.5 seconds. Lovely work from the guys. Pierre Gasly coming round the final corner down the start-finish straight. Where is Fernando Alonso going to come out here? He comes out behind Pierre Gasly, but crucially in front of Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas will be seeing Fernando Alonso, and at the moment he's stayed out of DRS. And if Fernando can get back in the DRS of Pierre Gasly, we're absolutely laughing. We're going to deploy to make sure that we leave Valtteri Bottas behind, and then it's all down to the pace of Pierre and Fernando to work together and get through to the end of this Grand Prix. So lap 21, I think most people have now made the pit stops apart from the medium runners. Vettel's got to pit again, as of Latifi. So Hamilton, fastest lap of the Grand Prix on the medium compounded tyre. He's now running P1. Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso sitting pretty in 8th and 9th, which will become 7th and 8th once Sebastian pits. And we are leaving Valtteri Bottas for dead. Fernando at this moment, he's been told not to fight his teammate. At the end of the Grand Prix, we will let them fight. But lap 21, all looking good. Lap 23, we said it was a two-horse race between Hamilton and Leclerc. That's all about to change. Charles Leclerc locked up, spinning, smashing his bike wing. What Fernando Alonso did in practice. I'm guessing that Charles Leclerc is going to have to come in for a pit stop. Let's have a look to see if he does. We'll just follow him round now. Where is he? Let's speed it on a little bit. See if Charles Leclerc comes in. I'd imagine he's got to come in for a rear wing change. Are we right? He's not. He's staying out. Charles Leclerc staying out with that rear wing. I would suggest that they should have retired the car. They obviously weren't going to change the rear wing. Maybe retire the car, but he's going to be slow now for the rest of this race. Pierre Gasly is leading the charge for the two Aston Martins. We're catching up to Sebastian Vettel and are about to be in DRS of Sebastian Vettel as well. And we're also just keeping Valtteri Bottas nicely back as well. He's now 1.6 seconds back. We're not giving him any DRS at all at this moment in time. And as soon as we get a chance, we're going to try and get Sebastian Vettel dispatched at the earliest opportunity. Gasly will be on him in the next couple of laps, and then Fernando can attack as well. Lap 24. What Sebastian Vettel is managing to do though on lap 25 is to be an absolute moving roadblock for our two guys. Pierre Gasly has got to get this move done here, because this is bringing Valtteri Bottas right back into play. And he can't get past him once again. We're trying to use the overtake to get past, but this is bunching up us with Valtteri Bottas. Not ideal at all. Our old driver not doing us any favours at all here. Pierre Gasly, will he go for a move into this section? It doesn't appear like he will. Valtteri Bottas must be thinking, oh my days, what we've got to do is we've got to get past this guy and then stick the afterburners on. That's what we've got to do. Could we do it into this next section? Pierre Gasly, we're going to give him the option of using the overtake again. He's left and he's right. Sebastian Vettel is parking the car, and Pierre Gasly just can't seem to size up a move. No matter which way he's looking, he can't seem to size up a move on him. And Fernando Alonso is shortly going to be under attack from Valtteri Bottas. So at the moment, we just cannot get past Valtteri Bottas. We'll come back when we finally do. You join us back lap 27. The amount of time we have lost has been unbelievable behind Sebastian Vettel. As you can see, Esteban Ocon's now even back in the picture. We've got to get Sebastian Vettel sorted out. Pierre Gasly's finally done it, and he's been told to attack on the tyres a little bit to try and get away now as well. Now it's Fernando Alonso's turn. Can Fernando put Sebastian Vettel between himself and Valtteri Bottas, and then we can start to grow a little bit of a lead again? But it's all on Fernando Alonso now. I've got an idea of where we're going to try it. We're going to try it just after the start finish straight. We're going to try and get Pierre Gasly out of DRS range. In fact, he's already broke the DRS beautifully. So now it's all on Fernando Alonso to see if he can get past Sebastian Vettel. In fact, he might do it here. He can't. Sebastian Vettel is just putting that car in all the right positions. It is so frustrating. I've sat here for the last 3 or 4 laps trying to watch him, but Fernando Alonso's thinking, I've had enough of this. I'm not doing this anymore. And Fernando Alonso, the man he is, El Plan, he's round him. Sebastian Vettel pushed up against the side now, and we do manage to get past Sebastian Vettel. That has been very, very hard work. But we've done it. Lap 28. Beautiful.
No DRS.
Safety car is out. We expected to see a safety car at some point, and here it is. We haven't seen the incident yet. We're just getting our guys to conserve the tyres, conserve the ERS. It's going to be a Williams by the look of it. The Williams of Yuki Tsunoda. Let's see what he's done here. He's running on his own. Has he just locked up? He's just binned it. He's absolutely binned it. So therefore, that's going to bunch us all back up now. Tyre-wise, we're looking pretty decent. We've had a competitor run wide. It's all going off at the moment. Lewis Hamilton still leads. It is currently a Mercedes 1-2. Hamilton from Russell, then Carlos Sainz, Perez, Verstappen, Leclerc. Then comes Gasly and Alonso. Sebastian Vettel would be very wise to pit under this safety car. Maybe go on to some hard compounded tyres. That possibly might benefit him. In the top 10, we've got the best tyres at this moment in time. Yuki Tsunoda is in, as you would expect after that crash. And we're going to bunch right back up to Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc might as well pack it in now. Obviously, he's got that rear wing damage. We've caught him quite substantially over the last few laps. We will probably win striking distance in the next couple of laps. But lap 30, we'll come back when he comes back to green flag running. But we've got to get all those batteries charged, there's fuel saved, and get ready to go for the second half of this Grand Prix. Here we go then, green flag running. Charles Leclerc has put onto the top compounded tyre. He's now down in P13, Gasly P6, Alonso P7, as we are waiting for Lewis Hamilton to go, and away goes Lewis Hamilton into turn 1, followed by George Russell, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, and then Max Verstappen. Then come the two Aston Martin to Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso. Vettel has been overtaken by Bottas. I was hoping that Vettel was going to hold Bottas up a little bit longer than that. But what we've got to do now, the key thing for Aston Martin here, is for Pierre Gasly to hold on to the back of Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso to pull away from Valtteri Bottas. We have got the better tyres, the fresher tyres as we move on. If we can break that DRS of Valtteri Bottas, that could be very, very significant. I wouldn't rule out any further safety cars, but lap 33, 6th and 7th for the Aston Martins. Lap 36, Pierre Gasly has just overtaken the Red Bull. I cannot believe what we're watching. We've had the pace on that Red Bull all afternoon in terms of after the restart. I think we've been very, very good. And we've just managed to overtake Max Verstappen on track, fair and square. Pierre Gasly using that deploy. It was more important because what we're trying to do is put some distance between us and Valtteri Bottas. I'm not bothered about Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is not in our race. But Valtteri Bottas very much is. But Pierre Gasly, with deploy on, has nearly broken the DRS of Max Verstappen. And Fernando Alonso, we're going to get to see the overtake on him as well. I think Fernando Alonso's just overtaken Max Verstappen. He has. We'll wait for a replay here. And here it is, Fernando Alonso now overtaking Max Verstappen. We've got them both set to deploy, but we don't mind a bit of that at all. And Fernando Alonso puts the Red Bull between himself and Valtteri Bottas. Beautiful work from Fernando. Pierre Gasly has now practically caught up with Sergio Perez, and if Fernando Alonso can do the same and stay within the DRS of Pierre Gasly, right, Pierre Gasly now can go to neutral because he's managed to get in that DRS, which is good work from him. He's also got the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Now, Fernando Alonso, key here. Can he get into the DRS? He's deploying. The other cars aren't. It's all on Fernando. He's got to try and get in this DRS. If he gets in this DRS, the two cars in front of him are squabbling. Valtteri Bottas has nearly lost the DRS of Max Verstappen. He's going to deploy all the way down this straight, Fernando Alonso. We'll leave him on deploy for the moment until he catches back up with his teammate, lap 37. And just a little bit later on lap 37, he's caught his teammate. Now both our guys in the DRS have Sainz and Perez in front. Their tyres about on par with ours now. We've obviously used a little bit of our tyres to catch up with them, but it's been fantastic work from both our guys, nearly dropping Max Verstappen. Interestingly, we've not quite got the pace of that, and Max Verstappen is going to come back towards the end of this race on the hard compounder tyre. But as we've seen Sebastian Vettel demonstrate, it's very hard to overtake around these parts. Fernando Alonso now sticking in with these, so we're very much in. We're not in the shout for P3, I don't think. But who knows? Gasly 5th, Alonso 6th, Hamilton still leading, but his teammate George Russell is not far behind. Lap 41, safety car is out again. This time Lando Norris, let's have a look at what he's done here. Again, nobody round him. I'm guessing he's just binned it. He has. That corner has caught a few cars out so far this afternoon. You join us back lap 5. We're still in P5 and P6. What this does do is gives us an opportunity to recharge the battery, save the tyres a little bit,
take it easy,
and just cool the car down really a little bit. As we can see in front of us, we've stuck in this fight. The annoying thing about this is, again, we dropped Valtteri Bottas by 3 seconds, and this is going to give him a chance to come back into it. But Valtteri Bottas' tyres, he's on 66%. We have been a little bit better than that. In fact, what we are going to do while this is happening is we are going to just drive in clean air and avoid the curbs. Keep the car nice and cool while we're on this safety car. And yeah, there's a few cars pitting. Sebastian Vettel's coming in for a pit stop. Now, what's Sebastian Vettel going to come on to? Has he had a pit stop yet? I'm not too sure if he has, but we'll come back when he gets back to green flag running. He's onto soft compound, so he's going to be pretty quick towards the end, Sebastian Vettel. But George Russell's now leading from Lewis Hamilton. This is going to be a spicy end to this Grand Prix. And here we go then for maybe the final restart. Who knows? George Russell leads us away from Lewis Hamilton. He went a little bit earlier than Lewis Hamilton did. He has got the better tyres than his teammate George Russell. He leads away the Singapore Grand Prix. Then comes Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Gasly and Alonso, the 2 Aston Martins. Max Verstappen on the hard compound tyre in P7, Bottas P8, Ocon P9, Ricciardo is in P10, Norris and Stroll are the 2 guys who have retired from this race already. Mick Schumacher at the back there. Sebastian Vettel is going to be quick, but he's going to need to be very quick for the last 16-17 laps of this Grand Prix if he's going to have any chance of making an impact on the points this afternoon. Lap 44. DRS is now enabled, and we've done absolutely everything we possibly could we've had to use this battery that we've saved up on the safety car to stay in touch with Sergio Perez, which means we are going to get DRS on this first DRS straight. Valtteri Bottas isn't, so both our guys managing to stick with the 2 cars in 3rd and 4th. Now, the only way we're going to stick with these 2 guys is if they start battling, which is the only reason we were keeping up with them before the last safety car. But they do keep battling. Max Verstappen's now on the bike. He's going to be very, very dangerous as his tyres are going to be better towards the end of this Grand Prix. But those 2 safety cars have aided us with the medium compound tyre as well. So there's a lot to play for here. 5th and 6th. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton going at it for the win. Unbelievable scenes. And Fernando Alonso is still being told don't attack your teammate at this moment in time. We don't see the necessity to have our 2 guys fighting. The most important thing is to stay in formation and stay behind Perez and Carlos Sainz, and we will use the ERS as we see fit to make sure we are able to do that. Lap 46. You join us back on lap 50. Fernando Alonso is having to defend from Max Verstappen. That's costing him time when trying to stay in the DRS of Pierre Gasly, but so far he's just about managing to do it. We do keep telling him to have a little deploy now and again, just to ensure that he's up the back of his teammate. It's all eyes on our two here. I think Max Verstappen's the only threat. I think 5th and 7th barring a safety car, is our best result we are going to get. We may be able to get one of these two guys in front. I think that's possible because they're scrapping. What I would like to do is have a lap of harvesting so we could really attack these guys, but we haven't got that luxury at this moment in time. So lap 50, Lewis Hamilton is now back in front though of the Grand Prix from George Russell. We didn't get to see that overtake. Perez, Sainz, Gasly, Alonso and Verstappen all vying for the final spot on the podium. Lap 50. This is the one race I've had to manage more than any other on this game, on anything. We are somehow holding on to P5 and 6. We're having to harvest in the right areas. We're having to set to neutral in the right areas. Use the tyres when we can. At the moment, Hamilton still leads from George Russell. And then it's Sainz, Perez, Gasly and Alonso. We're doing everything we possibly can to keep up with these guys. It's very, very difficult, I'm not going to lie to you. But at the moment, staying in this DRS is just giving us enough to defend from Max Verstappen. That's all we're managing to do. We've not yet lost DRS of the two guys in front, and the squabbling between those two keeps helping us along. Alonso still trying to latch onto the back of Pierre Gasly. We've got 3 or 4 more laps to go. Fernando Alonso now, he's got a gearbox issue as well. He's having to deal with all this, and he's still holding off that Red Bull of Max Verstappen. Tyre-wise now, Verstappen's on far superior tyres as well, but we're doing everything we can. Lap 58. Going on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, Max Verstappen has managed to get Fernando Alonso. We've done everything we possibly could to try and keep Max Verstappen behind. We've just not managed it, but what we're going to try and do now is we're going to switch Pierre Gasly. He's going to be on defend, and it's all on now. Can we hold off Max Verstappen? Fernando Alonso's deploying to attack. Pierre Gasly's deploying to defend. He's going to have 2 more DRS zones to defend. Can he do it? And this is the first of them too. Pierre Gasly, right, holds him off. He's still using that. We're going to attack on the tyres as well. Go aggressive on the tyres. Especially you, Fernando.
We can push more. Yeah.
Pierre Gasly's defending. Fernando Alonso trying to attack here. Can he attack? We're going to shift it to overtake on Fernando Alonso. Into this corner, he can't. He clips the wall a little bit from where it looks like there, Max Verstappen. But it's all on Fernando Alonso now. Can he manage to get an overtake done? We've got another DRS zone coming up very, very shortly. Pierre Gasly using everything he can to defend. I think he's done enough. Pierre Gasly's going to get P5. But is Fernando Alonso going to manage the DRS? The ERS is empty. ERS is empty for Pierre Gasly. We're going to have to switch it back to neutral. It's empty for Fernando Alonso. My word. Max Verstappen, can we hold it off? For the final few corners, can Pierre Gasly get push on the fuel, push on the fuel, push on everything, Pierre, and just try and hold off that Red Bull? George Russell comes across the line to win the Singapore Grand Prix, but Pierre Gasly will come across, finish P5, P7 for Fernando Alonso. And what a race that has been. Unbelievable performance. Both cars deserve all the credit in the world.
Okay, so
let's see what Fernando says here. Fernando's going to say, yeah, he's happy with that.
Well done, guys.
Fast forward, well done, guys. Brilliant performance from the Aston Martin team there. And I think a well-deserved round of applause. Let's get to the classification. So as we saw, George Russell taking the win from Lewis Hamilton. What a day for Mercedes that has been. A 1-2. Carlos Sainz finishing P3. Sergio Perez P4. Pierre Gasly comes 5th with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Max Verstappen just pipping Fernando Alonso to 7th. Vettel and Ocon finish 8th and 9th. And Valtteri Bottas finishing P10 for the driver's standings. Carlos Sainz takes the lead of the driver's standings. He's now 6 points clear of Max Verstappen in 2nd. Charles Leclerc 3rd after that very, very disappointing spin. Author of his own downfall there. Sergio Perez P4, Hamilton 5th, Gasly P6. He's 10 points clear of George Russell, despite George Russell getting the win. And Fernando Alonso goes above Esteban Ocon by a point. Constructors-wise, Ferrari look like they've got it done and dusted in the Constructors. Red Bull 2nd, Mercedes 3rd. But it's a very good day for Aston Martin, who extend their lead to Alpine in 4th now. So yeah, I think we've practically got 4th position wrapped up. I hope you've enjoyed that night in Singapore. I certainly have. And we'll see you for the next one. Ta-ra.